All right, hit that record button. So if you have to go early, you can kind of just catch the replay, speed up to where you left off. Again, welcome to those of you who are brand new to the team. You're at the top of this thing, meaning I just got started. So a lot of you have questions that are more administrative that I'll just refer you off to HempWorks / My Daily Choices customer support team. By the way, I use those two terms interchangeably often. My Daily Choice is the parent company that launched for the first time 6 years ago. They started a new branch about 2.5 years ago or so called HempWorks, which was their CBD line, and that really helped them to explode. You'll hear me often refer to them as HempWorks, sometimes My Daily Choice. I've been kind of getting the habit of saying both, just not to confuse people that are new getting introduced to the company. But those of you who are brand new, understand I just got started in December. And for those that don't know me, I've been in the marketing realm for 20 some years. So a lot of people in marketing know me from years ago, from years back, because I had a pretty high profile role in the industry about 12 or so years ago. And then I kind of relaxed for quite a few years and then launched a few big programs. And some people kind of followed that whole thing. If you don't know who I am, marketing is just kind of what I've always done. I've always done it differently. I've been a lot more candid, maybe less polished, less canned, in my opinion, like less about following the scripts and following what others are doing, and more just about looking for opportunities that I think are timely or phenomenal. I mean, there was a stretch there quite a few years where I just helped people develop skills. But when it came to me empowering people with opportunities, the way I go about it is quite a bit differently. You can just feel it in the way that we do our marketing. It's more about selecting the right opportunity. And I didn't always get it right. There was a stint in the cryptocurrency industry, for example. I think it was the first time I really ever got it wrong. I wasn't wrong about the industry, but I came to learn that the opportunities in crypto that have any kind of network marketing connected to them, you don't want to be involved with. But other than that, I've been pretty dead on about every opportunity I ever was involved with. And again, I wasn't wrong about Bitcoin and crypto, and it's going to keep going to the moon. But what you want is an opportunity that's going to last for decades. I mean, that's the key. And so that's what we're excited about. Now, I just got started in December. And so my focus is on setting you guys up to launch fast and big with this, but not on administrative stuff. So like I said, if there's questions that come up that you can get answered from the company, I'll just send you there. And there's things that I won't even know, which probably means you don't need to know them, honestly, because I was on the top enroller list in December, 214 enrollments. I can't share what I earned because that's considered an income claim, but for most people, I think it would be considered staggering the first month. And I'm going to be sharing things like you see this level 3 here down at the bottom, pro level, Profit Platform or Ambassador Program. That's the highest level of commitment that you can work with us, where you get our highest level of commitment back. And I don't expect most of you to want to participate or need to participate at that level. You can do extraordinarily well, build an insane income at level 1 and level 2. But I will be sharing with you how I do my marketing. How do I get 214 enrollments in 1 month? And I think I'm third on the leaderboard today in all of the company. And my focus really has more been on these things, not on enrollments. How do I get those insane results? It's from the level 3 marketing method, which I'll talk about today. Now, some of you are going to want to join us in that, but some of you are just going to want to do level 1 or level 2. We're going to go over that stuff and make sure you're clear on all of that and what your options are. Again, these are the different commitment levels that you can commit to the team at, depending on where you're at in life and what you want to do, and how hands-on you want to be. And then those levels also reflect what our commitment and my commitment is back to you. I want to really emphasize that before I get into this, that you're at the top. I got started in December. This is only February. In January, I spent almost the entire time developing the marketing presentations for one of the funnels that we now build for you. So I focused on getting it started in December for myself, for my team, bringing people in with really nothing in place other than a really candid presentation that really drilled down on why I felt this was really spectacular in terms of its not only immediate growth, but having the tools for me to help people build, but also the long-term viability of it, which is where it gets really exciting. Because if you can get momentum going in a company lasts like this, it's staggering what you can do. And that's where I feel you guys are all at. So if you ever feel a little attitude from me, or you're picking up impatience, don't, from me, like with questions you ask, don't think it's about you personally or that I don't want you asking questions. It's that it's not about that at all. I'm extremely focused. Like, I know what this is. And a lot of times people, most people won't and don't, because they don't have the years and years and years of experience and making 7 and 8 figures. So that just seems like nothing. And they don't think very big about these things. And they don't really know what to look for. And that's all understandable and reasonable. And I'm here to help people kind of shift into realizing what's here. And you don't need to want to make 7 or 8 figures to work with us. Some of you would be very happy with 50,000 a year residual. And I'm totally cool with that. I want to work with people at all those different levels and help you. But my point is that sometimes a person can make it way harder than it needs to be. And I'm not even going to say sometimes. Most of the time, people make it way harder than it needs to be. They're focusing on the wrong thing. So, my goal and my job is to help you start asking higher quality questions. Doesn't mean I don't want you answering the questions that come to mind, but sometimes you might not like the answer I give back, because I'm trying to move you into a new way of thinking about things, because this isn't that hard. Once you're in the right place at the right time, and I almost hate using that language because it's been so misused, this truly is that kind of situation. And once you realize that, this gets really dang easy because of everything we've given you. And so just wanted to mention, you're at the top. We do not have everything organized where it will be 6 months from now, nor do I care to. I'm focusing on the priorities, and I'll go over those right now and what you guys want to focus on if you really want to blow this up with me. I'm focusing on the priorities that my 20-some years of experience tells me, and I know it intuitively, like the back of my hand, what we need to focus on. And anyone who knows me, and if you stick around here very long, you're going to see that I outwork anybody when I see an opportunity like this. So it's not a question of me needing to work more to get things done that you think need to be getting done. And it's not a question of me not knowing what the priorities need to be, and I know that. So if anyone comes into the team that has equal experience, I'd be more than happy to hear your input. Otherwise, I'm anticipating that you're going to follow along and enjoy the ride. And I'm going to give you an outline right now of exactly how we're going to set you up to win big with this. For those of you who want to win big, those of you who want to just leverage everything here and do the minimum, but do enough, fulfill your commitments that we're asking from you to receive the commitments we're giving to you. You can absolutely do that minimum as long as you're still fulfilling the minimum commitments we're asking. So I'm going to go over some of that again. And then we'll open this up to a Q&A at the end. So level 1, you must be a director. So there's 3 levels, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3. And I know this is repeat for some of you, but we've got to start with the fundamentals because it's so important to know all this stuff. And not everybody will remember all of this. So level 1, you need to be at the director level at 40 BV a month. 40 BV a month. Guys, make sure you mute yourself, by the way. Go ahead and click mute, otherwise I got to keep stopping and muting you on my own. Andre, I like the music there, but I could mute you out there. I like the beat. It's sounding good, feeling good. All right, 1 second, guys. All right, so level 1, director level. 40 BV is about $69 a month. Auto order. Get on auto order. Get on auto order on the 1st through the 5th of the month. By the way, guys, do your best to set your auto order from the 1st to the 5th of the month, because a lot of times I'm giving stuff away and other upline are giving stuff away, like a lot, like big time. Like, for example, I did uh, $5,000 lead generation giveaway for people that met some really basic requirements. And if I look in the database for the active people who met those requirements, you won't come up if your auto order didn't happen yet. So we want you to get that auto order scheduled early in the month. So if I'm searching for you, to see if you qualify for something or to get into a special group or something cool we're doing, and you don't come up as active because your order didn't go through for the month, it's just the way their database is. It's just silly. And so set your auto order for early in the month if at all possible. Or you can get overlooked for things that you don't want to be overlooked for, and that you might not even ever hear about if you're not scheduling your auto order early in the month. So that's director level. Level 1, I'll talk more about this in a bit. A lot of you, just to refresh your memory, level 1 gets you into our level 1 support groups. You're surrounded with other people in the level 1, and you're getting access to my training and my support. But the type of marketing you're going to do in there, you will still get the marketing funnel and stuff that we're doing, what we're using for the most part, most of it. But you don't get to use the stuff that helps you do like the more serious marketing. Like, for example, YouTube ads. We haven't turned on the YouTube ads with this new marketing funnel yet, but we will. I've done them many, many times. It's going to be a more expensive lead, for example, but they're really, really high quality leads. It can be a real fast way to grow because you can really tap in to really high quality top producers with something like YouTube ads. But if you can't afford to move into level 2 or level 3, then we know you can't afford to do that. You shouldn't be dinking around with YouTube ads at level 1. Level 1 is kind of anticipated you're in a financial bind, and we know that's a lot of people out there, been there, and you really need to go minimalist on cost, but you don't want to miss out. And so that's what level 1's about. But you're not going to be privy or even necessarily hear about some of the sensational opportunities for growth that we run into as I'm constantly testing. So I might be testing something, it isn't necessarily YouTube ads, could be another type of ad, and I'm getting insane results. If you're at level 1, you won't even hear about that. So, because it would be assumed that you can't afford it and you shouldn't be wasting your time thinking about it. Doesn't mean you can't leverage everything that I'm going over today that you've learned about so far in the other ways, but you won't hear about those kinds of opportunities to build with. Level 2 is people at executive. Now, that means you need to, I went over I'm not going to go over all the details today because I'm just kind of doing a refresher and the foundational stuff. If you need to, and you probably most of you probably should, watch the comprehensive review more than once. I mean, think about how many times I had to think about that content to create that, right? Like, if I were watching it, I probably would have watched it 150 times or something like that, like in order to take in the information and internalize it. So watch it at least 2 or 3 times to really understand everything and write down questions. I bet new questions will come to mind the 3rd time you watch that didn't come to mind the first 2 times, and then bring those questions on these interactive calls. Like, the faster you get up to speed with internalizing what's happening here, not just being a consumer of the opportunity, like excited about it, and yeah, you bought it, and yeah, you kind of want to do what Mike's suggesting, like moving beyond that and really internalizing what's going on here, it's a whole different level in terms of your results. So I'd watch that the comprehensive review at least 3 times, and write down questions each time, and get those answered and talk it out. But in there, I went over all of this in more detail. But the important part I just wanted to go over today on level 2 is the executive level has different requirements depending on what country you're in, and I talk about it in there, and I'm not going to go into that today. If you have questions about that, just watch that again. But as long as you meet the requirements that I talked about in there for executive level, which depends on what country you're in, and you're at 90 BV, that doesn't depend which country, and you're at 90 BV, that part, which is about $140 a month auto order. And again, I know not everybody can afford that. That's why we got level 1, so you're not going to be left behind. But if you can afford that, you get into level 2, and that allows us to be able to show you how to do that more fancy marketing. I call it online guerrilla or guerrilla online marketing strategies. And guys, make sure you're muted out here while I'm just going over these slides. Manuel, I'm going to go ahead and mute you out there. We'll open this up after I go through all of this. And again, today for those of you that have been here with us for a little while that just might want to be tuning in. This is more for jump starting new people, and I'm going to start out with this important stuff, fundamental stuff. So YouTube ads, I'm going to move into that really quickly, but there'll be a lot of other ad strategies that are more sophisticated. They're not as sophisticated as level 3, but they're fast. They're the fastest way to get the best results, like impressive type results. But it costs more money, and so there's no reason a director should even be hearing about them. So if you want to participate in like some of the kind of ninja stuff I'm doing, and realize I'm testing things all the time, and if you want to hear about the results I'm getting with some of the higher level stuff that can be quite impressive, you want to be in the executive level 2 group. Now level 3, that's more sophisticated. That's for people that are at level 2, and then there's another educational step first, because this is like the highest level of marketing. This is not for everybody. This is for people that are willing to take a couple of months, while you're doing level 2 guerrilla online marketing strategies, building in the short run quick, you would be building a sophisticated funnel that automates the process of people getting to know you. So for, this is kind of like level 3 is like a fast track to where you see the big successful online marketers at. If you know who like Grant Cardone is, or Brendan Burchard, within that crowd, I'm a smaller player because they have a work ethic that's just insane. I can work like them for like 6 months for something like this to get an amazing situation going. But they work like that like all the time, like forever, like for 10 years straight. But it's the same strategy. I call it the online success strategy. It's the highest point of leverage. That's how I got 214 enrollments the first month in the company. It's how everybody promotes anything in a big way with a lot of leverage. You got so much leverage. So I'll talk about how you can learn more about that today. You don't just jump into level 3. If you want to do level 3, you start in level 2, and then you start learning about level 3. And then if you want to do it, you get our help in building a funnel that is more leveraging, that just takes more time to put together on the front end, because it's you're weaving yourself into that. I'll talk about that a little more in a minute. So level 1, just a little visual here to remind you what I just said. Level 1's people, warm market, which I know most people aren't excited to hear, but the company did 170 million in 2019. Most of that's from people telling people about the product. So you always want to keep that in mind, no matter what level you're at. Even if you're like me and you're like, well, I don't want to count on building my business with the people I know around me, and I don't, and I expect there'll be a lot of you that don't either. But if we don't talk about that as being important, and we don't make an attempt to do that, and if you're not building a relationship with the product, so you're not getting excited about it, so you're never going to share it with people around you, then that's going to be duplicated on down for your line, and it's just not going to be as powerful. So let it into your consciousness that warm market is a powerful method at level 1, level 2, and level 3. But beyond that, level 1's going to focus on YouTube free marketing, like me giving you videos that you load up. And if you don't have a YouTube channel and you don't know how to do that, I'll show you how to do that. Facebook posts, and there's other support groups that we'll plug you into from our upline that have lots of training on that kind of stuff. I focus on the higher level marketing stuff, but we'll plug you into other upline groups, even one of them a 7-figure earner in this company already that has all kinds of great training for that kind of stuff. And then you can do some low-cost solo ads in there in level 1. So for example, right now we have some 1-cent leads I'm testing, and I just started testing them, and I already got someone enrolled from it. They're really, really effective. And I spent like, gosh, what did I spend to get that sign up? I guess I would have, by now I've spent $7. $7. I mean, you do have to put $30 for setup and $30 a month, but you get 3,000 leads a month. And then if you refer one person, you get 6,000 leads a month. So it's a half a cent. It's just insane. I wouldn't even have ever touched these because I usually think things that are that inexpensive are ridiculous, that they don't work. But somebody that we knew and trusted has been using these. And so I went ahead and gave it a shot, and it's kind of crazy. Like I want to test them more before I really before I endorse it. But that's what I mean. Like those kinds of really inexpensive options, we're always testing those too, because we want to give people that are on a, a shoestring budget a way to get some leverage and not have to only rely on more market or a more passive approach of just loading my videos up to their YouTube channel or posting posts on Facebook. Those things can work over time. And if you're at the level 1 level, you should be looking into doing those things. But an inexpensive, 1 cent lead that's getting results, just using my emails and me guiding you, that can be a really high leveraging thing that people at level 1 can do. So I'm pretty excited about that lead source. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, level 2, they get to move in, as I said, to those more advanced methods. So in addition to all of that, they can start doing things like YouTube ads and other types of ads. They can do more expensive solo ads that we're testing that might get a better result. Those kinds of things. Level 1 wouldn't hear about them. Like if I start, and when I say YouTube ads, I also mean other types of advertising. If I get into a lead source, for example, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, wow, that these results are insane. Level 1 won't hear about that. They just aren't in the right mindset to hear about those kinds of things. Like you can only teach so many, you got to gather a group of people together that are in a financial situation and have a mindset to do a certain approach. Level 2 gets to hear about those more sophisticated approaches that might cost a little bit more. I'm testing those all the time too. When I hit the mother load, I share them with level 2 and they jump in on those. Level 3, as I said, is the strategy I use. That's what Brendan Bouchard, Grant Cardone, Frank Kern, Marie Forleo, everyone you see selling anything in a big way, 7 and 8 figure earners are using the predictable cash flow formula. And while I'm doing these other methods because I want to show you guys how to do them, like if I wasn't constantly testing these different things, then how would I know what to recommend and what content to give you, right? Like, so I'm doing level 1, level 2 stuff just so I can lead the way for those of you who have to do those levels. But just so you know, if it was just me on my own, I'd only do level 3 stuff. It's so much more leveraging. But because we're in network marketing, and I know a lot of people will be joining who don't want to learn online marketing and the sophisticated stuff, I got to set them up and I got to be testing stuff for them. Like, for example, that low cost 1 cent lead. I'm constantly testing stuff that people at level 1 can do and can afford. It's $30 a month. We're getting results there. That's awesome for them. I wouldn't even be dinking around with that because level 3 is so powerful. Except I know that there's going to be so many people who come into your guys' system who will need those low cost methods, at least at first. So I'm testing those. And then level 2, same thing. I wouldn't dink around with level 2 if I wasn't in a position of leading others. But because I'm constantly testing, things for them as well. But level 3 is where it just gets insane. Like anyone who wants to make a 7 or 8 figure income, you definitely want to learn level 3. What you learn and do, what you get in there, which is a more sophisticated funnel, sets you up to do anything online you want to do. Like if you want to sell a book, if you want to sell your own course someday, if there's some big thing you want to do of your own, like this would be the strategy you definitely should do. Or if you just want the highest leverage possible, to be able to scale, to be able to afford without spending your own money because it's generating so much cash flow up front, to be able to market in a much bigger way without out-of-pocket expense. You're going through so many more people and having it in an automated fashion, build a relationship between your leads and you while you're sleeping or having lunch. Like that's why this is so powerful. The problem here is it takes several months to set up the funnel. We guide you through that in here. It's not for everybody. I'd say it's for a very small percentage. People want to make a 7 or 8 figure income or who just want those really big results. With this company, with this opportunity, or you've always dreamed to be able to do that because you're a coach or a consultant or have something that you've dreamed to do, this would be the level you want to do. Most of you, honestly, level 1 and level 2 is all you need to do. And doing level 1 or level 2 in our group with our team is light years ahead of any kind of system you've ever used in network marketing before. And just a little bit more on this, here's an example of a lead capture page for level 3. For those that are in level 3, the way it works is we give you the sophisticated funnel. Here's like an example of one of the lead capture pages, and we show you how to put like a 1 minute or 2 minute intro that you do in the video. You don't have to be in the video, but you could be using slides in your voice like you often see me doing. And then you're introducing us as your business partner. So the leads are coming in, getting to see you as a partner with us, and you're not like a ghost in the background that they don't even know really exists. So that's an example of what we mean. And then when they enter their email, what makes this also really powerful, that pro level 3, is there's other affiliate programs and stuff they're buying and so forth, and so that gives you more, and it's all automated, so that's giving you more money. Like one of our members the other day just got an $800 commission. That's $800 that he gets to put back into ads. So and it's like that, and that's all leading up to promoting the HempWorks opportunity. They don't actually see when people come in through here, they won't see the HempWorks opportunity until about week 3 or week 4, after they've already received all this value that's already built in, and they're associating you with the value they received. I think you can kind of start to see why that would be so much more powerful, but it takes more time to set up. So even if you do want to do level 3, you should be starting with level 2. And if you can't afford that, or that's too much, or you're not there yet, just start with level 1. All of those are really powerful. And again, I already mentioned this, but in December when I joined, I got 214 enrollments. I keep saying this. I'm not saying this to boast or brag. I want you guys to know these strategies work. It's not just theory. Like, these strategies work insanely well. You can see the next runner-up, who's a phenomenal marketer, Natalia, 67 enrollments. Next runner-up, 49, Sandy Krakowski. She's got over 1 million people following her on Facebook. A famous marketer, 48 enrollments. If you were to scroll down this list to number 100, and I think they had like 10 or something enrollments, that's on track to be a 7-figure earner in this company, even the number 100 person. So when I talk about insane results, we're talking about level 3. It's not for everybody, and it's not necessary to do insanely well. Level 1 and level 2 can get you on this leaderboard. Something else I wanted to point out for those of you, to give you a little bit more detail, those of you who, I'll explain what you're looking at here in a second. Those of you who want to do level 1 or level 2 as well, the 1 cent leads I was just referring to that I just tested, I wanted to show you, just talk a little bit more about that. I really think everybody, whether you're going to do level 1, level 2, or level 3, everybody should be testing these leads. I didn't think that last night, but based on some more testing I'm doing, and by the way, I'm always doing this, guys. I'm always testing things and pointing you to where I think you're going to get the most result out of your effort for the cost and time. And I didn't think that these would do so well. I started to share with everybody yesterday this new lead source, but now I'm feeling everyone should be doing this, at least right now. I don't know if they'll always be so good. It's kind of crazy. So I sent out, this is an example. This top line is a snapshot from the lead system itself. Lets you email directly from their platform at no additional cost, which is insanely amazing. So this is really good for everybody to get familiar with, because you're going to have people who come into your system who need a really simple way to get up and running. And this is a really simple way for everybody to get up and running. And it's so cheap. It's $30 setup, $30 one-time setup, and then $30 a month. And so if we're just looking at that $30 a month, you get 3,000 leads. So it's 1 cent leads. And then if you refer somebody, and by the way, I already got someone to sign up after I just got started testing it. It's just insane. And I've got an email correspondence going with him, and he's going to be duplicating this process. You just get 1 sign up with this lead source, and you get 200 leads. That's a half a cent a lead. It's just crazy. I wouldn't even have believed it. I wouldn't even have tested this. It sounds so ridiculous. I'm really baffled with how they're giving leads for so inexpensive that are working this well. When I tested it, I thought I was going to get spam complaints and a bunch of junk, but I didn't. And not only didn't I'm getting a sign up already. It's just kind of crazy. With these kinds of things, you don't know how long it's going to last. Maybe they can't keep it up, but they're going to keep like finding leads, and it's just maybe a wonderful situation now, but won't be forever. You just never know. That's what marketing is. That's why it's a huge advantage to have me guiding you and leading you. In this case, I'm giving you the emails to send to them, showing how to send them. I'm giving you like 5 different subject lines to choose from. and you just get to choose, and then you report back. Do I have that up? Yeah. So that, you know, this might look like a mess, but it's actually quite simple. Your name is over here on this Google sheet, and then you report like which subject line that I gave you did you use, and you report like what day did you send the email, where did you email it from? Did you email it from the lead system itself, or did you email it from like Aweber or some other system? If you don't have another system, you just use the same place they give you the leads. That's where I sent mine that I got the sign up from last night. You're answering these questions like what time of day, so we can start to track like which emails get the best result, which email subject lines get the best result. For example, my email that I sent out got great results, and I tried to look, was there anybody else in the team that chose the same exact email and subject line that I did? And I didn't find it yet. I sent email B. I gave them 2 options last night. And some people, so this one did, but they haven't reported. Anna, the last time I saw, she didn't report her results yet. It allows us to work together to collectively quickly narrow down, you know, how to get better results. Not only which lead sources are better, but to see which subject lines and emails are better. So for example, today I told everybody, hey, I got great results on mine. Send, you know, with your next batch of leads, because you get 100 a day or 200 a day if you refer somebody. I said, with your new leads today, send the exact same email and subject line I sent out yesterday. Do everything exactly the same. And let's see if you guys get the same results. So it's just a fantastic way to leverage the collective community money and time to immediately quickly find out which email subject lines I give you get the best results, which we get to apply together as a team with other email or other lead sources as well. But anyway, it's a great way to learn too. It's a great way to learn how marketing really works. Marketing is not a gamble. And I mean what I'm about to say with 100% certainty. You cannot fail. You cannot fail at marketing when you approach it as a process like this, and you're not emotionally attached to any one lead source. And you understand that something might work for a few months, and then it dries up because it becomes saturated. And that's where I can help you so much, because I'm going to be testing so many different things. So if something dries up, we already got 4 other things going and being tested by the community. Guys, you're never going to find anything like this again in terms of this kind of support, if that's not already clear. I don't like to toot my own horn here, but you know, this is it is a guarantee. You know, you got to ask yourself, how do people like me for 20 years support ourselves? Not just support ourselves, but lots of 7- and 8-figure years, time and time again. Like, it's not, we're not treating it like a gamble. We're not treating it like a shot in the dark. Like, there's a way to set up marketing where you cannot fail. And that's what I'm guiding you through here. And the fact that you come in at level 1, which is a very small investment, and buy into these leads, for example, for $30 a month, and participate in leveraging the collective, and have my emails and my email subject lines and the collective community reporting back what's getting the best results. We just narrow it down. It's just, with a company that did 100 million in 2018 and 170 million in 2019, that's entering into critical mass. Like, it's absolutely insane. Down here below, so this are the stats that I get from where I sent the email. The top line here shows the date I sent it. I won't explain all of this, but subject line I used, how many I sent to. I referred people, so I get 200 leads now. This shows how many open, 35% open rate. And by the way, I sent this late last night, so every time I check this, the open rate's higher. This is really good. Like, that's insane for, in this case, half a cent leads, or even if they were 1 cent leads. This is 35% open rate's insane. Click numbers are 17, clicks to opens almost 25%. Down here below, though, it's giving me more stats. Down here below is a tool that we have inside of our HempWorks back office. You guys all have it too. We'll show you how to use it. And I set up a source. I didn't use this a lot. You'll see that initially I had none. I wasn't using a source code, and it shows like I had 5,247 hits to my lead capture page in HempWorks. That turned into 552 pre-enrollees, and so far I've gotten 286 signups since I started in early December in HempWorks. But I've started using the source code to start. I'm not showing you. I've tested some other things too, but I'm not listing them all here. But the one that I wanted to show you was the one I tested last night. It's the same stats as we're seeing at the top. It's just this is in the HempWorks to compare and make sure everything's right. And it shows hits 17. That's matching my clicks here. If they don't match right away, I notice that sometimes there's a delay, but we see that that's matching up. So it's saying clicks up here in their system where I emailed it from, where I emailed those leads from, that 17 clicked on the link in the email. And down here in the HempWorks reporting, it's showing 17 hits to the page. That makes sense. Pre-enrollees 2. Now, you got to understand, I can email this list again and again and again. So I'm going to get a lot more hits and pre-enrollees out of that same list. Again, I don't know how long this is going to last. This is crazy. Like, I just started testing this the day before yesterday. So this isn't the only results I got, but I also got decent results before this. It's really, and then a sign up. So we'll see, man. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy. I definitely encourage, for that price, everyone to be testing this. Test it only though if you are understanding it's in test mode, which for months we're going to be in test mode on a lot of stuff, guys. You're at the top of this. The value of this is if you enter into it not emotionally attached to any one lead source, and understanding like we're leveraging the collective of the entire community. You're sending my emails, you're testing my subject lines, and I'm kind of guiding you to be able to figure out, like when we look at the community sheet, I'm going to show you how to, how I'm reading this and what it's telling me and all that. And again, we'll be testing lots of things, but for 1 cent leads, this is awesome. So anyway, that's something you can do at level 1. So pretty awesome. You can do it at all the levels. And I recommend that you do. I didn't recommend that as of last night, but as of today, based on what I'm seeing, I recommend everyone definitely test out those leads with this. It's impressive. Okay, so what's the goal? We're driving down that one leg, right? And your upline's helping you drive down that leg to get 100 committed people on auto order. That's really, the first focus. And then once you have 100 people on auto order in your left leg, you get added into 10 different uplines, HempWorks marketing funnel rotators. So when they get to drive to that link, and leads rotate into those 10 different people that are in their rotator. I'm going to talk a little bit more, just a bit today about that, because we're going to get you guys set up in those rotators. So 10% of 10 different uplines incomes, or HempWorks incomes, are allocated to the ad rotator. And you don't just sit there and do nothing and wait for them to build it for you. It's just it's a built-in process that is just helping the upline drive additional traffic down. Because we only have to build 2 legs, and because of the cool tools like the rotator that are built into the back office, and because you have me guiding you with different things to test and stuff, and these really inexpensive lead sources, we get to collectively drive down volume, not just in 1 leg, but in 2. And the only risk with this is attracting people that are just sitting on their hands, which is not a winning team, which is why it's so important that you guys follow through on the commitments you're making, or we're not going to be able to support you. Like, you're not going to have access to our marketing funnels. We're not going to pay anybody any attention if we notice they're not doing their end of the bargain. So it's really important, part of your commitment, and I know I don't have to say this to most of you, but we need to say this out loud so we don't develop we're giving so much. The biggest risk that we have is attracting people who just want us to do it all for them, which is not a winning team. So not only are you going to hear me constantly reminding people of what they have committed to if they want to have access to all of this, and for us to be watching for that. Like, for example, if you're an upline, for those of you listening in that are upline that have people you're going to be adding into your rotator, like, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make sure that the people you add to your rotator are following through on their commitments, because if they're not, you're pulling them out of your rotator. And that's really important. It's not because you're a hard ass. It's not because you're a mean person. That's not what this is about. This is about understanding that winning sports teams, winning political teams, winning business teams, winning groups of people at anything They have commitments. And the higher those commitments, the more clear they are on those commitments, the more those commitments are discussed, reinforced, and accountability is there, the more they succeed and the faster they succeed. So you're doing people a disservice, whether they know it or not. Like someone might get mad at you for removing them from the rotator because, their dog's sick and they've gotten distracted. But you're doing them a disservice by keeping them in your rotator if they're not doing their end of the bargain. So you're going to constantly hear me reinforce that, yeah, we're committing a lot to our team, but they shouldn't be joining unless they're willing to commit what we're asking for back for the level 1 group, the level 2 group, and the level 3 group. And that's not just, coming in at director or executive, or into the Profit Platform or Ambassador program, if we're talking about level 3. It's not just them coming in at a level and auto order at the early part of the month. That's part of it. But it's also, are they making a real effort to do their best to do marketing? Whether it's like these 1-cent leads, whether it's warm market if they're really in a tight situation or maybe they have an advantage there, whether it's posting videos to YouTube consistently, whatever it is, are they following through on their commitment? And if they're not, you're going to yank them out of your rotator, of course. And that's doing them a service because they're just setting themselves up to fail and to bring in other people who will fail. If people are signing up underneath somebody who doesn't understand these things and isn't following through on their commitments and just on the take, you don't want that in your team. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention is you can join the marketing rotator of your upline faster when you come in at level 3, which again isn't something you can just snap your fingers and do, but if you learn about it, you really understand it, we'll give you a free class that talks about the online success strategy, and you do join level 3, you get added to that because then we identify you as a potential top producer. And really what this system's all about is empowering people who are not top producers to be able to plug in and play. And as long as they're doing their best, and we feel that they're doing their best consistently, fulfilling their end as best they can, someone who is not a top producer can come in, participate, and benefit massively from the system and the strategy and end up attracting top producers underneath them. But we need to have identifiers for people that are either coming in as a top producer, like if someone like me signs up who can just bring in 200 people their first month without any hand-holding or help, the system's designed not only to attract such a person, but it's designed where I would support that person. That's the advantage of being here at the top. A year from now, I may not. But right now, because you would be expected that another top producer would then work with that person. But right now, and for some time still, when that top producer gets identified, they get linked up with me, and now you're leveraging me in a massive way, and they're underneath you. So, but also we're developing top producers. We have mechanisms in place to sort and identify for developing top producers. And if somebody comes in at the pro level, that's a developing top producer. That's somebody that I want to work with and develop. So again, if you're not a top producer, the system's set up to attract them and to have you be able to leverage me in ways that you can't even believe, we can't even conceive, where I would be working with your top producers. And it's very conceivable that you could get several top producers in one league and several top producers in the other, and you're leveraging me to work with them. So that's why all of this is built in. It's leveraging everything, and it's to your advantage, whether you're a top producer or you're having to start at the minimum and you're just willing to do your basic commitments to be able to leverage all of this. Okay, so now let's talk about the steps or the phases to focus on to get from being brand new to this to being rocking and rolling with 2 legs growing, and you're making significant binary income and it's growing every week. So to get from starting new to there, step 1 is set up your funnel. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that today. Get your funnel set up. That's where we have all the presentations that walk through everything that a lot of you have already seen. That's where the comprehensive review is. That's not HempWorks' funnel. That's our funnel, because the HempWorks funnel, the corporate funnel, is an important part of this. It's a part of the process. We do market it, obviously. And it's very cool and it's very sophisticated and it's what makes all of this really go. But ultimately, the reason why HempWorks needs us, the reason why My Daily Choice HempWorks needs us and pays us so much money, will pay you so much money, is because there needs to be a relationship established and significant additional support between an upline team and the downline team to empower and lift them up. The company can't do all of that. That's why they pay so much money out. And so our funnel is where you get to automate the process, systematize the process of making that introduction between a new prospect looking for a home, looking for an opportunity, and the upline and what the upline offers. Because that's where enrollments really happen. It's not with companies. And that's a misunderstanding that a lot of people have had. Like they'll be promoting a duplicatable system a company, corporate provides. And by the way, HempWorks, My Daily Choice, has the best one I've ever seen, but still. And in fact, it can sign people up. Like for example, I showed you someone signed up from the 1 cent leads from the email I sent out yesterday. He signed up before he even saw our funnel. He signed up, it's unusual, but it happens. Like, because HempWorks' system is so cool. He signed up just by coming into the HempWorks funnel, and I didn't even have time yet to follow up with our funnel. And he just came in and signed up. So it happens. But even though that happened, if I wasn't here, he would just die on the vine. He needs support. And so, and that's where this funnel comes in. Instead of me having to just call him and have him go to his warm market and that typical strategy, right, that just takes so much time, and that would be hard for him to duplicate. We plug you guys in with the funnel that explains what our commitments as an upline team are, everything that we're fulfilling, everything that we're offering, and that consolidates and communicates the value of the opportunity totally, not just the corporate opportunity and the products and the industry and the company and what they've accomplished and what they provide, but what we provide as an upline as well, which includes setting them up with their own funnel, and that automates much of the process of building a relationship between the upline and the downline. So I actually wrote that guy and said, "It's awesome you came in, but I need you to watch the comprehensive review at this link so that you understand what we're committing and offering to you fully and what we're asking for you to commit back if you want to work with us." But that's a really good prospect, right? Somebody that actually signed up already. But it can't stop there. Like, you need a funnel that communicates all of that and that bridges that gap and that shows them what the upline team is offering, that goes above and beyond to help them actually succeed and win, that's specific, and helps them understand their commitments and what we're asking of them if they want to be on the team. That's extremely important. You won't find one winning team in network marketing that doesn't do that in one way, shape, or form. It's just we're automating much of it. Doesn't mean it's 100% automated. I still wrote the guy an email, but I sent them back to the funnel, and that's what we mean by automated. So step one is getting your funnel set up. I'll talk about that today. Step two, get pre-enrollees. I just talked to you about the 1 cent leads. I think everyone should start there. I didn't feel that way last night, but after what I'm seeing, if you want to wait it out a little longer, you can and do other methods. And we'll talk about those other methods. But right now I'm focused on testing these and getting this ruled out. Next week, we'll start giving you videos to upload to your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, we'll show you how you can create one. But right now, if you want to jump into something with me guiding, I suggest those 1 cent leads. But however you're going to do it, you want to start getting pre-enrollees. That's step two. You need your funnel first, though. So don't think too much about step two until you got step one done. And I'll talk about how you do this in a bit, or what I'm going to send you and get you plugged into all this. Step two, I just want you to know how simple what to focus on first, second, third is. Step one, get your funnel. Step two, get pre-enrollees, which I'll show you, such as the 1 cent leads and the emails I give you to send out, etc. Step three, I call this using primer and fire starter, and it should say emails. I just call it use primer and fire starter. What I'm talking about there is emails I give you that are specifically designed to send to your pre-enrollees to further deepen the relationship and the trust, helping them understand what's going on, what we're offering, making sure that they're studying the comprehensive review, getting their attention, and getting them to understand that there's advantages to being an action taker, that the system rewards action takers, and it's not just a gimmick or a game as maybe somebody on the outside looking in initially after being burned so many times in the industry might think, but that there's a legitimate, substantiative, it's a hard word to say, there's substance. And we're making sure they understand that that's what the primer and Firestarter emails are about, to get them to identify potential top producers that will take action early, that trigger that team line, because then the emails go out from the system saying, hey, someone's going to jump you, gets people to pay attention. I give you emails to do that. So step one, you get your funnel. Step two, you get your pre-enrollees, like using the 1 cent leads or lots of other ways that I'll show you. Step three, send out my primer and Firestarter emails that sort for and identify action takers and get them taking action, thus creating growth and momentum in your team line. And you just focus on one thing at a time. If you don't have your funnel now, just focus on step one. All your questions would be around that. Then you got your funnel set up. Step two is get pre-enrollees. All of your questions and focus would be on that. Once you have that down, you start to have that really rolling. Step three, now, okay, how do I trigger the growth of this team line? Which, I support you through all that, give you all the content, everything you need for all of that. I talked about the importance of contribution. I just want to reiterate, like, all you got to do is get two legs going. Your upline's helping drive down the momentum in one. Your upline's even helping you drive down the second once you get 100 people on auto order in the first one, or if you join it pro, that would happen even sooner, but you need to contribute. And I talked about that earlier, so I won't go over that again. Okay, so here's the next step for those of you who are brand new. I'll open this up to a question and answer, by the way, but just so you know, we're going to email you a list of first steps with your links. So some of you are going to want to get a funnel set up using an online platform called Kartra. Some of you, and that's like, let me see, how much am I going to type? We'll send you a link that talks about what Kartra is. There's an extra cost to that. It's unavoidable because we need a place to put your funnel. If you can't afford that extra cost, then you can get your funnel set up with a blog. We need a place to put your funnel. You need your own domain name. You need your own place to put the funnel. This isn't just your regular run-of-the-mill duplicatable funnel that isn't yours, really. This is really going to be your own. The leads are going to be your own. That's how it has to be if you're really going to be successful and effective. You already have, by the way, guys, you already have a funnel right now from HempWorks that you don't have to set up. That's the typical duplicatable one, and it's one of the best I've ever seen. In fact, it's the best I've ever seen from a company. But for reasons I just explained, there's a reason why HempWorks, My Daily Choice, needs us. And so that's the funnel we give you, is the upline funnel. It's building that relationship and establishing that collaboration and helping them understand that they're getting massive support from us, and specifically what it is, but what we're asking of them. That's what this funnel I'm talking about now has. So, if you just want the turnkey funnel, you already got that. But the big results come from this additional layer of support that people get. So again, you can either get it set up on Kartra, which is like $99 or $97 a month. It's hilarious. I always forget which it is. But if you can't afford that, then you would have it set up on a blog. We support you with both. If you don't have a blog and you don't have a website, you don't have anything, then we can get you one for a one-time cost of $99. Well, we're not making profit on that. We're just having someone build that for you. And then we give you the funnel and everything on there, and then you would just pay for hosting, not to us. For those that don't know how the internet works, for a website to be up, for your website to be up, you have to have hosting, and it's under $4 a month. So it's it's as free as you can get. So you can either do it with Kartra, which is a more sophisticated platform, or you could just have it put on a blog. I'll show you where to go to learn about what you might want to do. Once you have your funnel, then we'll show you how to get plugged in with the 1 cent leads, or if you just want to do another method, you can do another method. But right now, that's where my focus is because we're getting such great results. I wanted to bring your attention back for a second to how timely of an opportunity this is. It's important that we always ground everything that we're doing in marketing to the substance that's supporting the longevity potential of this thing. It's great to be able to grow. It's great to be able to get momentum and growth. But when you can ground that and really understanding where the company's at, that becomes a very mature type of excitement that becomes really attractive to people that you might be coming across who might email you questions. And that allows you to follow through and feel really confident in what you're doing. So I just want to remind you in the comprehensive review, you may want to watch that a couple more times. We talked about critical mass, how most companies go out of business, over 90% within the first 18 months to 24 months. Of the 10% that remain past that point, another 90% fail within the first 5 years. That leaves a fraction of companies. Within that fraction of companies that's remaining after 5 years of all startup companies in network marketing, only a fraction of those ever reach 100 million in sales annually. Of the fraction of a companies in network marketing that are still around after 5 years and have gone on, which is rare, to 100 million. And by the way, if you're thinking of companies that have done that, it's only because those are the only ones you hear about. But there's thousands and thousands and thousands of companies you never heard about. The ones you heard about often are the ones that reach the rare level, but there's not that many of them when you look at the grand scheme of all the companies that failed. So of a fraction of the companies that did make it to the 5-year mark and did do 100 million in sales, there's even a lesser fraction within them that within a second year did a substantial increase in growth. In this case, HempWorks did their first 100 million in 2018 and then did 170 million in 2019. That's what we call the beginning of critical mass. And they're now at their 6th year. We're with a company, and there's a number of other factors that I talked about that are really important in the comprehensive review that you want to be able to internalize. We're not just setting you guys up with the best marketing strategy and upline support I've ever seen by a long shot. It's really important to ground that into the understanding that we're with a very rare company historically that has all the indications of becoming a legacy company as much as you possibly can know. There's no crystal ball, but as much as you possibly could know, it has an extreme high chance of becoming a legacy company, which means you get momentum going here, and the amount of income that you can make in this model is insane. I just want to also say before we open this up, and before I give you your next steps, what to look at to get your funnel and everything, develop a relationship with the product. It's very easy to get excited about the opportunity from an abstract place, or to get excited about the opportunity because of the help that you're getting from the upline and the system, being able to work with marketing professionals and so forth. But if you don't develop a relationship with the product, if you don't make an attempt and have an intention to, if you're like, I don't really care about the product, I'm interested in the opportunity. Like, I understand that mindset because I'm a business mind and I'm not like the kind of person that gets all excited about products. But I will say, for those that don't know this, that the reason why I built all of this was because their CBD product massively helped me. I can't say it on a recording. I can say it if this was just going to be live, but I want to put this replay out there because of FDA rules. I can't.
I got the money. This is Mike. He's got tons of dough. He could pay, but
guys, make sure you don't accidentally go off of mute. So that's why I developed all this. If that hadn't happened, then I wouldn't have. So develop a relationship with the product and make sure that you encourage that downline. Otherwise, you're lacking the substance of what's driving the company. The company did 170 million last year, not because of its marketing system. Most of it is being driven because people are just telling people about the product, and that's the sign of a phenomenal opportunity. Okay, I'm going to be posting a video today showing you how to use the Google Sheet. This is for the upline who have more than 100 people. You have people underneath you with more than 100 on auto order already in their first leg. And it's time for you to add some downline to your marketing rotator. I'm going to be doing a video on that, getting you started with that today. It might be this evening, but that's definitely going to be out today. So again, if you're an upline who already has somebody, one or more people in your downline with more than 100 people on auto order, look for the video today so you can start adding them into your rotator to help them build their second leg. If you want to learn about the level 3 pro level, which is the marketing I use and that every 7 and 8 figure earner uses, and it isn't that you need to have to want to earn 7 or 8 figures a year in order to use that model, but I keep referencing it that way because it demonstrates how high leveraging it is. It's like a whole nother level of just getting so much more out of every dollar or hour you spend. If you're interested in that, email the person who referred you to us and specifically ask for the online success strategy class. It's a free class. It's a 2-hour class. You can get through it fast. You can get through it slow. But study that. Email your referrer and ask them for the online success strategy class. That's the first step if you want to learn about the pro level. And just learning about that can be enlightening, especially if you're somebody that has struggled with online marketing or opportunities in the past, or you wondered how you saw some people making a lot of money online and you're wondering what they were doing, what they were really doing. This will explain it. And then a lot of things will start to really make sense to you. If you were referred by Robyn, Lynn, or I, email our support team if you want to know about this and ask our support team to send you a link to the online success strategy class. And our support link or email is support@predictable-system.com. support@predictable-system.com. If you have your marketing funnel, so again, if you have your marketing funnel now, because I know some people are listening who do, and you want the 1 cent leads that we're testing, and I underscore testing, for the next 3 to 6 months, everything that we're doing will be testing. That's how real marketing is done. I want to keep using that language because that's how we do it. That's how we guarantee wins. We're never emotionally attached to any one lead source. I'll be constantly testing multiple lead sources and sharing them with you. If you're in level 2, you hear about the more sophisticated ones. But I honestly think that everyone at this point should be testing, whether you're in level 1, level 2, or level 3, everyone should be testing these. I didn't think so last night. When I was first announcing this, I didn't think so. But based on the results I'm seeing for the cost, as long as you're willing to enter into it without emotional attachment, realizing maybe the results that I just saw could change, like if that's going to bother you, don't do it. But if you want to learn and participate with the community, I think I'm strongly recommending now that everyone at least do these 1 cent leads. If you're willing to enter into it without emotional attachment and understanding that we're testing and want to test those out with us, sending my emails, testing subject lines with us, etc., email your referrer for a link to the 1 cent leads. If they don't know what you're talking about, because it's one of the it's pretty recent that I started testing and talking about these, then contact our support team and say you contacted your referrer and ask them for the link for the 1 cent leads, but they don't know what you're talking about, and we'll reach out to them. And if they don't want to participate in it, then we'll send you our link to participate in that. If Robyn, Lynn, or I referred you to us and everything that we're doing, just contact our support team and ask for the link to purchase the 1 cent leads. It's a $30 setup, $30 a month. So basically what that boils down to is about 1 cent a lead. The results I'm getting so far are amazing, but I think the most valuable thing, aside from that, is participating with us and understanding how you really do marketing in a way where you cannot fail, where you approach it as a process and not a gamble. Plus, I'm giving you the emails and everything else. Okay, so we're going to email you a list of your first steps. For those of you who are brand new, sometime today or tomorrow, you'll get an email, and you'll also see a post in the group again because we had a new surge of people coming in. We're going to email you a list of first steps with links. So, for example, I mentioned earlier to get your funnel set up with Kartra and to learn about the Kartra online platform to see if that's something you want to do. Do you want your funnel on Kartra, which has the auto email and everything all in one platform? Do you want us to put your funnel there? Or do you want to get your funnel a little bit less expensive not quite as fast and easy for us to update your funnels. Like when we're doing funnel updates, or we're adding a new funnel page that we've tested that's doing awesome with, let's say, a particular like ad or whatever, or a particular lead source. If you have Kartra, we just can drop it in. If you have a blog, it's a much slower process. But if you're on a shoestring budget, go with the blog and have us put your funnel there. If you can handle the extra $99 a month or whatever it is, 97 or $99 a month, you'll want Kartra, or just get the blog to save some money. But we're going to send you a link to learn about all these things and get them set up, get your funnels set up. So look for that link today or tomorrow if you're new. And then we'll also send, or I'll just send a reminder out about the 1 cent leads, and I'm going to keep you posted. So look for updates on that, because it's kind of exciting what I'm seeing right now. So I'm going to keep updating you guys on those. Encourage you to plug into them. Again, if you're willing to enter into it, knowing you don't get emotionally attached to any one lead source. Next week, we're going to set you up with a YouTube channel if you do not have a YouTube channel now. And then we're going to start giving you videos you can load to YouTube. You don't have to do that. If you're in level 1, I strongly suggest it, because you need to leverage everything you got. If you're in level 2 or level 3, you don't have to be doing that, but you might want to pick up some free leads through YouTube. It's a really powerful method to do so. If you know how to record your own videos, just take content that you see me doing, take a message in one of my emails, and post it. If you're afraid to do videos yourself or don't know how, you'll just start posting videos that I give you for now, and then you can graduate into making your own in the future. Make sure you're plugged into all of our groups. There's lots of different upline groups. You would have received an email from Anna Peters, kind of getting you started with getting plugged into the different groups. She guides you through that. You'd also definitely want to get plugged into, the most important group would be either level 1, level 2, or level 3, which is our groups, where you're like getting constant feedback and updates from me in a constant stream. And we'll continue to do so, because again, you're at the top of this. You're going to see us testing lots of different lead sources, lots of different ads, lots of different landing pages, lead capture pages, and keeping you, depending on which group you're in, keeping you updated on all those things. If you're in level 1, you'll get less of the guerrilla online marketing strategies, but you'll get updates about things in there as well. And that's where you get to interact with me quite a bit and get links to calls like this. But Anna Peters would have sent you an email. If you can't find it and you're new, contact support@predictable-system.com and let her know. That's if you're in my downline. Otherwise, go to your upline. And you want to go through the training in the groups. So for example, if you get plugged into one of our upline systems like Team Inspire, one of our uplines groups like Team Inspire that Jason Cardamone does, or Aaron Parker, he has training. Like, start going through some of their training, and if you relate to it, if you're benefiting from it, go through their training. You don't need to go through all of them, but find the one. I would suggest you to get training from at least one other person other than me that we plug you into, because you learn different things from different people, and I'm not going to go over a lot of the basic stuff. Like, I'm going to focus on the online marketing stuff, setting you up for massive growth. Like, what we're doing here is unique, right? I'm going to focus on that stuff. That's my skill. And I'm going to let Aaron Parker or Jason Cardamone or Aaron Rashkin, one of the 3 uplines that you can choose from, let them teach you the basics. And they've all been here a lot longer than me, so they've had time to put together organized training that you just go step by step through. So pick either Aaron Rashkin, Aaron Parker, or Jason Cardamone's group, which we help plug you into. Decide which one you resonate with, and then go through one of their trainings and really stay tied to them and what we're doing. So you have that fundamental stuff. They'll keep you more posted on what the company's doing on really important stuff. But I'm just got my head deep in what we're doing, which is really unique to help you blast off. And then just keep following the support by email. As long as you're meeting your commitments to stay active in level 1, level 2, or level 3, you'll be getting my support by emails. They might end up in your bulk or junk folder because we send so many, so look there. And some people's emails bounce, I'd say like 2 to 3%. So, we post in the groups as well. So stay connected to level 1, level 2, or level 3 support group, whichever one you're in on Facebook. And of course, plug into interactive sessions like this. Remember, you're at the top of this. You get to leverage all of this in a major, major way to accomplish something really extraordinary, probably beyond what you can even conceive of right now. It is absolutely insane how timely and historic the My Daily Choice company is with where they're positioned for critical mass. And I think most of you know that what we're offering is unheard of in terms of the level of support and what we give you to blast off your business. So seize it. And even if you're not a top producer, as I was saying earlier, whether because of time constraints or you're just not experienced with this and you're barely following what's going on, understand that you can leverage this system to attract in top producers in each leg through your upline spillover and you plugging in and just doing your best with one of these lead generation processes that we're setting you up with, sending my emails, leveraging my content, and you can attract top producers in each leg that work with me. That opportunity will not be here forever. It will get to the point, as it naturally does, where I will have all the top producers I can work with. You want as many of those under you as possible. You're here. So as long as you're plugging away, that's going to happen. But the point will come, and I don't know if it's like 8 months from now or it's a year from now, where all of my time will be taken up just working with those top producers. And I won't be looking to bring on new or to develop new relationships with top producers. I'd be teaching my top producers how to do that. You want as many of those top producers underneath you. You're here, so that will automatically happen as long as you're just doing what your part is. So keep that in mind. Understand that, you know, if you're working 80 hours a week and you're taking care of your parents and you've got kids and you've got almost no time, just do your best. You have so much leverage here. As long as you do your best, you will benefit tremendously from this because of the timing of when you're here. Okay, so with all of that said, let's go ahead and I think we'll start with chat. Let's open up the interactive session. If people have questions, go ahead and start with the chat. I'll look for questions there, and then we can open up to interactive as I see questions that maybe we should interact on. And then we'll, before we close out, if you just want to say hi, I'd love to say hi to you guys too. So just if you know how to, and if you don't know how to do the chat, see if you can find it and type your question there first. But if not, I'll give you a moment to open up as well for us to connect. Someone wrote privately, so I won't give the name. Where do we start our funnel? Okay, so Ryan, as far as starting your funnel, I'm going to send an email out today and post it in the group for those of you who are new, where you go to start your funnel. And then it guides you on how to access it. Like, we have really good videos that show you how to do that. And if you need more help, you join me on the next interactive call. But most people are getting through that really, really well. It's been set up really, really well for you just to get the funnel. So look for an email, and also I'll post it in the groups if you're in one of the groups. Remember, you need to be at level 1, level 2, or level 3 to get the funnel. So if you're not a director or executive and on auto order, you won't see that email and you won't be in the group. So make sure you're qualified. Bob writes, I'm a member of Profit Platform. And for those that are new here, Profit Platform is one of the options if you want to be in level 3. Bob writes, can I receive the marketing funnel without having a WordPress blog? Only if you have Kartra, Bob. We need somewhere to put it, because I already have a personal website URL hosting an email Office 365 system all set up through GoDaddy. So, I'm not even really sure what that is, just because I'm not, believe it or not, guys, and maybe it's easy to believe it, I'm not that technically savvy, but I've always hired a team or had people around me that help me with that stuff. So I've heard of that from GoDaddy, but I'm not real familiar with it. If you can figure it out, Bob, like if you can go through our training and you can figure it out, that's awesome. Otherwise, you have to fit into the system. You know what I mean? Like we can't individually create new training and solutions for every possible thing somebody might be doing out there. But if you want to go through the training that Robyn set up, and you can, translate that into getting it on your GoDaddy system, absolutely go for it. I have a feeling it could be problematic. Like, she set it up so it's super easy. If you have Kartra, it's super easy. Or if you just have a WordPress blog, super easy. if you can take what she gave and turn that into something that works for your email office 365 system all set up through GoDaddy, we don't have any problem with that at all, but we won't be able to support that because that's just impossible to administer. Scott writes, the recommendation for those that have their own domain and email program to create a blog and add the funnel page you provide to that just as a page, is that correct? Let me read that again. The recommendation for those that have their own domain and email program to create a blog and add the funnel page. Yeah, so Scott, I'll be sending an email out today in a couple hours, and also posting in the groups if you're in one of the groups, and I believe you are, a link to Robyn Lynn's instructions that show you how to get your funnel set up on a WordPress blog. And if you run into any trouble, we'll be here to back you up. For those that already have a YouTube channel, can we have access to that material sooner? Yeah, no, Scott, because I'm going to start that next week, because right now as of 2 or 3 days ago, I started testing this new lead source. And so I'm putting all my attention into that because the results are so insane at the moment. What I'm seeing is just so exciting. So I'm going to focus there for this week. And then I'm going to move on to the YouTube channel. I'm going to move back to the YouTube channel next week. There might be, and Scott, let me clarify, there might be some videos that I post that you could upload that are not specifically designed for that, but will still do the job. Like, for example, I'll just make, although you might not fully understand it, like why it will work. And I won't have a lot of time to explain it until like we have some calls specific to the YouTube marketing method. But I will just say, for example, if you go to my YouTube channel now, you're going to see some recent videos that are very candid, very rough, unpolished, that are speaking directly to certain things that we're doing. And they're mostly updates for my team. However, what a lot of people may not realize, when I post this to my YouTube channel, and if you were to download those, which you can do, and upload them to your YouTube channel, they attract really good people that are prospects. There's a lot of people out there that are searching for My Daily Choice or searching for upline leaders in HempWorks. And when they find my videos, they know that kind of a person knows immediately that that's the case. Like, you don't need polished videos designed for marketing in order to attract other leaders. And a lot of people that haven't made a lot of money in this industry, like, they don't know that. Someone who's a leader out there, or a potential leader who's looking for a leader, will know right away when they found one, because there's not very many of them out there, and so who know what they're doing. And so the advantage you have that you could do right now is go to my YouTube channel and download any of my videos. I would look at like the last 20 or so, or last 10, because I just launched this thing. So if you go back too much further than that, I start talking about stuff that's not really relevant right now. But if you maybe look at the last 10, they would still be relevant, and they'll be more and more relevant as we go. When I first launched, it was, I was talking to people who've been following me a long time. It's kind of a different conversation. But you go back, you go to my YouTube channel, you go back last 10 or so, you'll find videos that would be appropriate for you to download right now, upload to your channel, and then give a description that says, hey, I work directly with Mike, and this is your only link to work directly with Mike. So if you want to benefit from everything, you could say this different ways, but if you let them know you're a business partner, and you let them know that if they want to work with us and have everything that I'm talking about in that video, to sign up at your link, you can connect them. And then people that are searching HempWorks, searching upline, searching people on the leaderboard in HempWorks, people who are making those kind of searches, or who come across that video and understand what I'm talking about, those are your best prospects. Those are top producers. And so you could actually take those videos right now, even though they sound like they're not marketing videos, upload them to your video and say something like that in your description, and link into your HempWorks page for now. And later you could add the other marketing funnel we're building for you if you don't have it already, and leveraging my YouTube videos right now. Now, next week, I'll start designing videos again that are specifically designed to leverage even more so, like not just to get a larger group of people, not just get top producers, which is a niche audience. But guys, I should back up and say, remember I talked about critical mass? One of the big advantages of critical mass is there'll be a lot of top producers, people with big uplines already, or people who understand network marketing well enough, or who've been researching HempWorks long enough to know what's going on, who are ready to bring in 10, 15, or even hundreds of people into their downline instantaneously. There's going to be, when a company enters critical mass, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people like that look at that, joining that company. And so they'll be searching and looking. And so that's why you want to you want to upload my videos onto your channel and let them know that you work directly with me, and that if they want to benefit from everything I'm talking about in those videos, to join right here, and you'll be in touch and your best prospects will jump in. But again, starting next week, I'll have content for you to upload to your videos that appeals to a broader audience. But really, it's the audience I was just talking about, those top producers you want to track. Daryl writes, just needing help. And those of you who need help with how do you download my videos, I mean, you could go to Google right now and ask that question and it will show you, but I will provide, I've made videos, and we just need to organize this stuff better, because we're flying by the seat of our pants here because we just started. But those of you who know how to download a video already, or go to Google and figure it out, you can download my videos and upload them to your channel. Just don't copy my title. And these are the things I'll be teaching next week, but I'll just give you this little tip. Don't copy my title word for word, like the headline that I put in my YouTube video. Don't copy it word for word, and don't copy my description word for word, because that looks like duplicate content. And even though YouTube will know that the video is duplicate, and that's not typically as powerful as if you were to add a little, like a little intro or something to the video, as long as you make the text unique, we have found it still comes up in the search engines. It still gets results. So you can literally just download mine, upload yours. As long as you don't make the headline and everything exact, you get exposure and results from it. But I would recommend you put HempWorks and My Daily Choice either in the headline, the description, or both, because people will be searching for that. And in the tags, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, and again, if you don't, I'll go over this training next week. In the tags, it'd be smart to use my name. It would be smart to use HempWorks again, My Daily Choice again, and then maybe a couple words. You don't want to put too many tags in there because YouTube's savvy enough to not fall for that. But you could put a couple things in, like upline leaders, upline leadership, because some top producers will be searching for that. Daryl writes, just needing help with adding featured image to blog post issue. Featured image. Oh, so Daryl, for something like that, you'll want to join us on tomorrow's call. You're an ambassador, so you get to join us on the interactive call where we help with those kinds of things. But do make sure you've done your best to get that figured out with the training that's provided. There is a section that's showing, well, maybe it doesn't show that, I'm not sure. Well, let me see what you're dealing with. You know, I'm no pro with the blog, but you see mine and see that I do the basics. So as long as you're staying within that realm, I'll take a look at what you're trying to do tomorrow. But that blog's, you know, it's not where the money's at. Like you adding a featured image. If I know what you're talking about, hold on. Let me. We're not going to do that today, Daryl, because that's not really. That's more of the ambassador group stuff. But I think maybe you're just talking about this right here. So like these images. Just join me tomorrow and let's. Pretty sure I showed you how to do that in the training, but let's work through that if you're running any trouble. But we'll do that on tomorrow's session.
Right, my pad. It's just thanks for everything you're doing. But yeah, it's just the HempWorks funnel, the instructions that Robyn gave us. I came upon.
Oh, you're talking about the marketing funnel.
Yeah, and Hazel.
Well, let me stop you there because I don't know anything about that technically. She would have to be the one to help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's taking a couple days off because she just plowed through a bunch of work, getting all that out. But we'll have interactive calls to support you with that. But ask your question also in the groups, because a lot of people, you know, have gotten it all taken care of going through a training. So there might be some little quick fix that someone can help you with. But if not, Robyn will help you with that. I won't be able to. She set all that up.
Okay, yeah, I already asked it in the group, and you replied, said that she was.
Say that again.
I already asked it in the group, and you replied and said that you would.
Can you speak really, really loud? For some reason, you're coming through real faint.
Okay, I'll just move my speaker. Is that better?
It's really faint, but I think I got you. Go ahead.
So I replied in the Team PowerWorks group about this, and you got back to me, said that she would do a support session soon. So yeah.
I said what?
She would do a support session soon, but that was a day or so ago.
Yeah, she might take like a week off. I don't know. We'll see. She needs a little break.
Okay.
So she'll hit you up as soon as you see her back. It's her birthday today. I don't know if she's just taking today off, but honestly, I feel like I'm encouraging her to take a few more days off or up to a week, but we'll see.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, here. Bill, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a quick question. Hey, I'm in the ambassador program. Do we need to use a different Facebook page or different YouTube pages? Because I've set them all up on the ambassador side. I mean, they're not generic. They're specifically for that, but it doesn't say it in there. Is that something that we're just going to run them all through on the same Facebook and YouTube channel? Does that make sense what I'm saying? As far as when we start kicking in, the ambassador funnels and all that, we're going to run them all on the same channels and the same Facebook pages?
Yeah, I mean, the ambassador is more about advertising your lead capture page.
Correct.
So your YouTube channel, your Facebook page, doesn't really, I mean, we still use them, but
Okay. I was just.
Yeah, what makes the ambassador process unique is we're advertising on Facebook or YouTube a completely different lead capture page.
Got you. Yes.
But yeah, you don't need a different YouTube channel or a different Facebook page for that.
Okay. And on the rotator, are we using our new funnels we've created, or is that the corporate funnel for us that goes onto the rotator that the top 100's on?
Well, for those that are, I don't typically like to talk about the rotators that are unique to different groups because it confuses people, but I'll just say, everyone can close their ears so you're not confused, because there's different rotators that people can get into for different incentives that we do and stuff that you guys will be learning about. But for those of you in the top 100 rotator, Robyn is as soon as she gets back, she's going to rebuild the new marketing funnel page with the rotator link in it, and then I'm going to start driving traffic to it again.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to be testing some solo ads and some other stuff, driving them right to your HempWorks links too.
Okay.
And testing it both ways. But Bill, are you in the chat, in the top 100 chat? Because I'm trying to keep you guys updated and all that in there.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'll just keep you posted in there.
That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Which link do we use when sending the A and B emails that you shared in the group? I have my funnel in Kartra. Which link do we use? I specify that in the email. So, Jesse, if you're here and can unmute yourself, or if you're in a place where you just want to text,
I'm right here.
Okay, hi Jesse. So, are you in the chat group called, what do we call that? Leads. 1 second. Let me confirm the name of it.
The lead testing chat
Lead
group.
testing chat group. Yeah, are you in there?
Yes.
So that's where I'm keeping you guys posted, and we might need to set up another Facebook group because it's kind of hard to find previous posts. But I posted in there a little bit earlier the email to send out. Did you see it in there, or did you see? You might have saw it in the group. Do you see the one I posted in the group? Is that why you weren't sure where the link was?
I do see it now. So we're using one of our MDC capture pages. I just was making sure we weren't using the funnel that we created through Kartra.
For right now, we're testing sending them into the HempWorks funnel first, and then we follow up with our funnel.
Got it.
We
Thank
will
you.
be testing other things later, but we just test one thing at a time. That's what we're testing right now.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So and as soon as
Thank
someone
you.
becomes a pre-enrollee, I'll give you guys another email to send to them to send them into your funnel, to the funnel we built for you.
Okay,
All right. Perfect.
thank you.
Yep. Larry writes, I'm ambassador member as I am going through the AP course. Cool. I have created a funnel, just missing some follow-up emails in my autoresponder. I wanted to see if you had some emails to give me. So Larry, are you here? I'm not sure if you're talking about, I'm assuming you're talking about your HempWorks funnel there and not your ambassador funnel, but I wanted to clarify. If you're here, Larry, go ahead and mute yourself and say hello. If you're not in a place to talk.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
Right. Yeah,
So,
this is my initial HempWorks funnel.
your HempWorks funnel, yeah. So those should already, when you went through the videos that Robyn gave you, like that should put those auto emails right into your Kartra account.
Yeah, I'm just starting the ambassador course. I'm on the first stage right now.
Yeah, no, this is separate from the ambassador. The ambassador is setting up that comprehensive funnel, but their HempWorks funnel, did you go through the HempWorks? Did you get a link from us with Robyn guiding you through dropping in your HempWorks funnel into your Kartra account?
No,
Or maybe
no.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you'll look for an email today with a link to that, and that'll walk you through it.
Okay, all right.
And if you're still needing trouble, let us know or email support. But give me about 2 more hours to send that out again.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott writes, mine is all set up. Just want to know if funnel is a page on blog or is it a home page on the WordPress site? Scott, I'm a technical idiot. Like, I have no idea. Like, I kind of know what you're asking, but I don't know the answer. I don't know how Robyn set it up or what the real proper answer is. So I just rely on what Robyn set up that has gotten everyone set up that is following that. So Scott, if you can unmute yourself and just let me know, have you gone, I'm assuming you've gone through Robyn's training, or it's not a training, but guiding you through.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through it and I've got the funnel all set up, on its own domain and everything like that. My question is, because it just shows up as a page, and then if you don't set it up as the home page, you've got another page that, that shows to whoever goes to the domain. So I'm wondering if you just set it up as, a page on the site, and that's the page that you refer people to, of course. But I'm just saying, as far as if people just say, hey, well, I want to, like if I go to abc.com, but the page that I really want them to go to is abc.com/hi.
Right.
That's the one I would send them to. But if they go to abc.com, they're going to see, if there's nothing there, there's not going to be anything for them to see. So I'm trying to figure out, how you guys are recommending, or maybe how she's recommending it be done, whether it's just a page and then we add other content to it ourselves, or how we do that. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing it correct. But the funnel's all set up. The emails, I put the 17 emails in, did all that. It all works. All the links are working. All of that is happening. But I just don't know, this part of it.
So for those that are using Kartra, they get to set it up this way where you can do like in my case, app.mike-klingler.com.
Right.
If you just have your blog, I'm not sure if that's an option.
No, usually what happens is it's just like the domain name. Mine is, in this instance, it's Scott, my name, biz.com, and then, I don't have that page set up to show up there now because I wasn't sure that's how, you guys recommended doing it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
I could make
I
that
hear
my
what you're
home
saying.
page.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't know what she would recommend just off the top of my head.
Okay, well, for now, I'll just make it the home page and leave it at that. The reason I ask is because what she had in her training is she had the domain, and then she had / residual income system was the what's called the permalink, which is the link that you actually give people to go to
Right.
to find the page. So it wasn't set up as the home page. It was just kind of a page on the site. And that being the case, I was wondering what you recommended or she recommended for the rest of the site.
I think it depends on what you want to do. Like some people here want a blog on their homepage. Like, look, if we go to my homepage, you're going to see content. So which is what I want them to see, because otherwise the search engine optimization gets messed up. So in my case,
all right. That's fine. I don't want to take up your time because I know there's other people. I can just create some content, throw that up there, and make that the home page, and then make the other page just a page on the site, and that's the link that I give people to go to opt in and to do what they do.
Or again, from what I was going to suggest, you actually set the home page to be your lead capture page. If you're not having a specific purpose behind this content being here, then that would be the next best thing to do.
Or I could do that in the interim until maybe you get a more definitive answer from her if she's the expert. I mean, I'm pretty knowledgeable. I mean, I've been doing it maybe quite a long time, maybe too long.
I'm pretty sure she's going to ask, do you have content that you want people to see on your homepage?
Well, I don't yet because I just got started in this,
Gotcha.
But I could easily
gotcha.
create content.
Gotcha. Well, this is something that only those. I mean, within our team, people in Profit Platform or Ambassador who are in the level 3 pro level, that's where we're guiding them through this more sophisticated stuff. If you're in level 2 or level 1, I would just make the home page the lead capture page.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Mike, I have a question related to that.
Yeah. Who's this?
This is Sam.
Hi, Sam. Go ahead.
You'll never forget me. I'm the only guy with the Southern accent. I'm level 1, downloaded the funnel into Kartra yesterday, sent out some solo ads last night, got 42 pre-enrollees in MDC, but they were not captured in my Kartra list.
Okay. What link did you send them to? I
used that link that the gentleman was talking about a moment ago, the https app.soundstoudy.com/residual-income-solution.
Okay, so you sent them to a page that, hold on one sec here.
I sent them to that page. It goes straight
I just want to, this one here, right, that you're looking at right now?
Yep, they went straight there. So they signed up under step 1, so they're in MDC, but I'm not capturing their name in Kartra, to have them for the email list there.
Yeah, no. Okay, so when you send them here first, which that's pretty cool results for sending them here first.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, when you send them here first, which is going to be much more qualifying, assuming they're real people. I mean, that's pretty incredible. If you send them here first and they go to step 1, then they're coming to your HempWorks page. So anyone that opts in here, you're going to have to load them in to Kartra or an email system to follow up with them from there. Now, let me go back here. Those that go to in step 2, when they're watching the comprehensive review, if they ask for this to be emailed, that's a really high quality lead, and they're getting entered into your Kartra and getting the follow-up emails.
Okay, you answered my question. I need to build a Kartra capture page for my list and lead them into the funnel from that. And
well,
that way I have
yeah, and so just to be super clear, so we're going to be testing all kinds of things. You can do that, but just to speak to everybody here, right now, mostly what I'm testing and doing, because when I got 214 enrollments in December, I'm starting out duplicating what I did and setting everyone up first to duplicate what I did. And what I did was I sent them to the HempWorks page first, and because it's less thinking on their end. And then as soon as they came in, I loaded them into an email system and directed them to a page like this. Now, this is a better version of what I had in December, but it was basically a really candid review of the same thing, and it worked extremely well. So that's what we set people up with first. But we also knew that there'll be times where you'd want to send people directly here, so we wanted to make sure we captured their email here if they didn't get through the whole comprehensive review. So that's why we put that there. Now, next, we're going to create a doorway like you're talking about that we'll upload to your Kartra, and we're going to be testing different doorways all the time. And those who have Kartra, it's going to be easy for us to, when we find a doorway that works for a particular lead source or a particular ad, we're going to be able to load that up to your Kartra very quickly. For those of you who have a blog, there'll be a bigger delay because it's more time consuming on Robyn's end to get that set up, but you'd still get the best ones in time. For those that have Kartra will get it right away. So we will be creating doorway pages for this that would immediately go into your Kartra before they landed on this page.
Yeah, that solves my problem right there.
Yeah. But right now, just to reiterate, right now we're sending them in here. They drop into HempWorks, and then we're following up with this. And I know that's not ideal for everybody, but I just wanted to start off with the same process I had used that worked so well before we start moving into some of the more traditional methods.
And I'll make one last comment. I had joined Kartra for the first time. I am familiar with Aweber, and I can't stress enough that it is a very positive platform, although I'm not familiar with it enough yet. So if there's anybody, when you're talking to people that are on the fence, they need to go for Kartra.
Kartra is a really powerful system. I mean, if someone's really fearful of tech, it might be a little much fast, but even for me, not very techy, I absolutely love Kartra.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Great to have you on board. Let's see here. Just looking through, making sure I don't miss anything. I got quite a few messages still to go through, so give me 1 second. I'll make it down. Ryan writes, a few people have asked me, is this legit? It sounds like a pyramid scheme. What would be the most professional response to use if anyone has been in the same position? You know, I mean, for me, it's not very often I would hear someone ask that question that they're a good prospect for me, but it just kind of shows that they don't really know the industry. But if I were to come across it, you know, I would probably want to understand what they mean by pyramid scheme. Like, do they mean like the banking system, or do they mean like the way? This is just me, guys. I can, you know, be a bit of a pill when someone asks me that, but I just like to move people's minds. Like, what do they don't know what they mean by pyramid scheme. So that's why I say it's not a good prospect for me, because it's just too much work. That said, a lot of people have been able to take the time to educate someone like that and have a fantastic, you know, business builder and partner. But, you know, for me, I would want to understand, what do they think they mean when they say pyramid scheme? I mean, do they mean like an illegal scam? Because there's a lot of companies with the network marketing model, if that's what they're referring to, that are publicly traded companies on NASDAQ that have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So I'm assuming they're not talking about that. If they're talking about a pyramid scheme where the only way to make money is to sign people up to make money, then you know, obviously it's not that. It's a product-driven company. They did 100 million in sales in 2018. They did 170 million in sales, and what most of those people are buying are the products. A pyramid scheme is when most, if not all, of the people who are buying are just buying to make money. Now, I know you guys might be business-minded, and the marketing system I set up is set up and designed to attract business people, which we absolutely have every right to do, because it's the business opportunity side of it. If the entire company was only selling their packs or whatever you want to call them, because people wanted to make money, that would be a pyramid scheme. But that's not at all what's happening. The majority of, and you can know this by looking at the leaderboard. I mean, look. Well, let me see if I can get in there quickly. Again, I don't know if I would even spend too much time talking to someone asking that question at this point. That might be somebody I would talk to in 2 or 3 years. But right now, we're really looking for people who know enough about business and so forth to ask better questions. But again, it could be a good prospect. It's just going to take more education and so forth. So let me go to the leaderboard and show you real quick. Like, here's the top 100 people right now this month enrolling, and you see like new business volume 7250, 5430. You scroll down here, down in the 20th top person in the whole company. We're talking about 1,000 volume. Let me show you where I'm getting at here. And then like the 100th person, 600 volume. The company did 170 million. Like, these numbers don't add up anything even scratching the surface of getting to 100 million, let alone 170 million. The point is, most of these are the business builders, although a lot of these people are selling just the product. Like, they aren't even in it for the business per se. But most of these people that are at the top, recruiters or top enrollers or top sellers of product in the company, are in for the business. And this volume counts to almost nothing compared to what the company is doing. The point being that almost everybody in the company who buys the product is buying the product, not the opportunity. We focus on the business opportunity because of that reason, because we see a company that is positioned to be a major player for decades to come because of the product. So, again, I don't know how much time I'd ever spend on somebody asking that question at this juncture personally, just because it's just a lot more work than we need to do. Right now, we're sorting for business-minded people. 3-4 years from now, that might be a market that I would focus on more, that are not as educated about the industry and stuff. But again, the difference between a pyramid scheme, it's just kind of funny to even talk about it where we're at. But I like the question, but I mean, you just might not want to dink around with it. But the difference between a pyramid scheme and a real company, which should be obvious, is a pyramid scheme doesn't sell product, and people aren't buying the product because they want the product. You can't do 170 million in a year and still be in business and be a pyramid scheme in this day and age. Like, it would be literally impossible. The regulators would shut you down somewhere around the 50 million mark, I'm sure. This is the top CBD seller in the world. I took the product, and within 30 seconds, the pain in my neck. I'm going to stop right there. I can't say these things on a recorded call. Ask around the company, start to realize on your own why people are here and that it's because of the product, and do your best to communicate that to somebody. But honestly, I don't know if I would spend much time with a prospect who doesn't know these kinds of things already. Great audience 3-4 years from now, after we get all of the business savvy people, or people who have the potential, like who are savvy enough to get it pretty quick and easy. And maybe they are, but that's for you to call. I wouldn't spend a lot of time trying to convince people that are asking that question, though. I would start out at finding out where they're at with, what do they think that is? It's just a silly question with where we're at. I like that you asked it, but I don't think I would spend much time on a prospect who asked it, personally. Let's see here. One sec, guys. I'm going to start at the bottom because I'm not sure where I left off. Jesse, most people think that MLM are pyramid schemes because they're not educated. Yeah, not really our market right now. Again, right now, guys, it's such a critical time. it's such an amazing time, and there's millions of people that have been in network marketing, and even if they swore never to do it again because their company let them down or whatever, they are actually quite open if they found a home, they found the real deal. So we're just sorting for them right now to build a solid base of business savvy people, where people have the potential to become business savvy when they're surrounded by the right thing. And then once we get everybody pretty much in the world that can be attracted to this, and it starts to move into critical mass, in about 2 or 3 years, we'll shift the marketing completely and focus on selling the product and on finding people like doTERRA type people who just want to do like home parties, or who want to take the product and share it with 3 people and get theirs free. But by then, you guys all have this giant organization of business-minded people that were getting in front of something massive. So again, I'm not trying to say don't waste your time on somebody who asks a question like that or that isn't more educated on it. But if you're feeling a lot of resistance, I'm just saying, like, don't waste your time then. And because we're really sorting for people right now that are among the millions out there that understand the difference between a pyramid scheme and a legitimate network marketing opportunity. There's a lot of socialists and communists that would think that the banking system is a pyramid scheme, and they probably wouldn't be too far off. But there's perspectives can make it almost impossible to do business with somebody if they're not understanding how the market works and what is a legitimate opportunity and what isn't. Let's see here. Michael writes, "Hi, Mike. I sent an email to Robyn today. You mentioned she might be gone. Yeah, we're trying to give her a break. I'm having problems with Kartra. I would just wait if you're having any problems with Kartra, just wait for Robyn to get back. And she'll probably be back sooner rather than later. I've asked her to take up a week off, which would mean till this Friday, but I have a feeling she's going to be around. Today's her birthday, though, so those of you who've been around know that she hasn't taken a break for a very, very long time. So, just hang back, Michael, and wait for her to help you. Trish writes, Mike, for the HempWorks funnel, do we need CRM software? Not sure what you mean, Trish. Again, just go through, if you don't have the link that sets you up with the HempWorks funnel, I'll send that out again today. Follow those steps. And if it doesn't mention a CRM software, don't think about CRM software. And
hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead, Trish.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, because I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't think about anything that we don't need to. So
okay, so my HempWorks funnel is up and running and ready to go. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do my leads.
Okay.
The CRM it's to put leads into that, to keep track of if we're not putting them through the funnel. If they're coming in through HempWorks, or like, how are you tracking all of your leads if they're not in the funnel, or are you putting them through there?
So we'll save that for a support call.
Okay.
Today's really just jumpstarting brand new people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the too heavy of the weeds. Like, I mean, my question to you is, you've started generating pre-enrollees already, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so how have you been emailing them?
Right now, I'm just manually, one at a time, sending emails out.
Yeah. So, I mean, Aweber is one that we recommend. So you can just load them into Aweber and send off an email.
Okay.
And, we encourage you guys to stay tied to the referral network. So in your case, Trish, I referred you, so just contact our support team. You have the email address, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just contact support and say, I need the Aweber link. It's $20-some a month. You just load in the leads from HempWorks and blast it out. Those of you who have Kartra's a little pickier about loading in leads. They might ask you where they came from. Some people are getting them in. Some people got to load them in one by one. I wouldn't be too concerned about all of that stuff, though, right now. If you got to get another $20 tool at some point, with, you know, then you can do it then. But until you need that, I wouldn't do the extra expense. Trish, it sounds like you're at a stage where, you know, making it easier for you just to load in the leads into Aweber will really be a big time saver. So yeah, I just email support@predictable-system.com and say, since I'm your referrer, just say, please send me Mike's Aweber referral link. But those listening, if you do need an easier solution for loading in emails and sending them out, go to your referrer and ask them for what they recommend for sending out emails. With that said, Trish and everybody listening, there's a lot of nuances here, so I don't want to get too much in the weeds today. But like, for example, if you're using the 1-cent leads, you can send to those leads through their system without any additional expense. It's only when you start to have a lot of pre-enrollees coming through your HempWorks funnel that you might want to start looking at getting another email system that's really easy to load them in and send them out.
Right. So mine was from past about 100, 200 leads that I've been contacting, and then to get them introduced into this for, you know, what we're doing now. But then the people who have been hitting me up through Messenger on my page, my groups and things like that. So I'm like overwhelmed. So I need to get an automated system.
When did you get your funnel set up with us, our funnel?
I just got it finished 2 or 3 days ago.
So the overwhelm will significantly decrease when you just start sending people into there, and you know, people that are reaching out to you asking questions, say watch the second video, and then like do a call like I'm doing right now with Zoom and talk to all of them at the same time. Like that's when you're going to get to the next level. By the way, those listening, Trish just signed up like this month and is already on the leaderboard. So you're going to be an overwhelm if you're 5th in the whole company of a $170 million company. Trish is kicking butt. So congratulations again, Trish.
Thank you. And I haven't done anything in the past 2 days, and so I fell. So I'm getting ready to kick it back up again.
Well, yeah, and quite frankly, I suspect some of these people might be buying packages, but you're doing awesome. You're doing absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
And for those that don't know, they have a promo this month. So if she can hold her 5th place for this month, she'll get an extra $2,000. This is her first month, guys. And here she is on the leaderboard. So yeah, you'll, if you're going to be growing at that speed, you know, a little bit of overwhelm definitely will be involved, especially when you still have to have a job when you're making that transition. But Trish, awesome job. But yeah, just start referring people into your new funnel that you just got set up. Ask them to watch video 2. And then if they didn't, because some people are lazy, right? Like, I get it. And they're trying to like just take your time and have you explain everything. You got to be kind of strong with them and say, watch the comprehensive review and then let's talk. Yeah, I have to do that sometimes. Kind of strict.
You know, to be honest with you, Mike, when people start asking me questions, I'm just like, you know what? I'll swing back around and pick you up later. Like, I don't have time. I've got 100, 200 people like bother me. Don't have time. Bye.
Right. As long as you give them the link, tell them to watch video 2, and then tell them to reach out. That's where you can leave it until they do that.
Yeah.
And
can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody, that if you put urgency behind it, and that's kind of like what I do with people, when you put urgency behind it and then let them know that you are, doesn't matter how many people you're talking to, they don't know, but just, you know, that alone, I've had so many people that they try to bog me down with questions, and I'm like, I don't have time. I'm working with, you know, 50 people, 20 people, whatever I comes out of my mouth. And then they're like, wait, you know.
Exactly.
So, and then I just keep redirecting them back to the video. And then pretty soon I see them in my, you know, pre-enrolling. I just keep, you know, like pushing them off. Don't have time.
And that's an authentic thing. Like, that's a real thing that Trisha's doing. Like, it's not something she's making up. So if you guys, you get your funnel, you get lots of pre-enrollees in, and then you start to get all these people, it's a natural thing to like, have to hold, you know, you just have to hold people accountable, and it creates this natural urgency. Like Trisha's saying, like, sorry, I got too many people to work with. Like, if you're not going to like watch the video and then get back to me, like, you might miss this thing because I got too many people to talk to. I can't just sit here and jibber jabber. But it's just a natural progression of what happens, and that starts to attract people. Trish, great work again, and I was going to ask you, do you know how to use Zoom like what I'm using right now?
No, I don't, but I am going to, well, kinda. I got a Zoom account. So I've been so busy with my leads. So this is my next project for
Yeah,
tonight. I
you're
will
at the
learn it.
stage. You're at the stage, and you got there really fast, which is awesome. You're at the stage now where, because by the way, guys, remember Trish joined this month, and she's got one leg blasting off from her upline, and so she's focusing on the second leg, and she's blasting that second leg off. So she's really already first month starting into perpetual motion growth in 2 legs, and she just got her funnel like 3 days ago. So
I
Trish,
haven't even used my funnel yet.
yeah, no, I know. Now you get to leverage it. So,
Yes.
yeah, now you're at the stage where you could hold a call like this, just email everybody, invite them to your Zoom link, and then
Okay.
just go over some key things with them and encourage them, for example, to watch the comprehensive review, just talk with them a little bit, and then tell them you're going to do another one just for those that watched it. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Now you're able to leverage your time a lot more.
Oh, okay. Definitely. All right. I'm on it.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sam writes, Mike, I'm at level 1 and set the funnel in
You
Kartra.
answered that earlier,
Oh, I
Mike.
did answer. I was going to say, that sounds really familiar.
Yep, that's
Okay,
it.
cool,
Thanks.
guys. I think we got you. I think we answered everything. Oh, wait, Paul. I see Paul here. Hi, Mike. I have a GoDaddy URL and was going to use them to host, but sounds like Kartra is a better system and easier. I mean, Robyn doesn't like GoDaddy. She just spoke the other day on why, and I don't remember why. I will say, and it's kind of actually reminding me now, my personal experience years and years ago using I use them for buying domain names, but everything else, I think now I remember, like, if you want to cancel or make a change with GoDaddy, they make it really hard, and they have these financial hidden penalties and fees. GoDaddy is a phenomenal marketing site, and just for convenience, because I got used to it, it's where I bought my domain names. But yeah, they do seem to like nickel and dime you everywhere and have these little hidden costs. And if I recall now, that's kind of what she was referencing. But there's a number of reasons why she didn't want to go to them. But yeah, Kartra is so much easier. We just set it up where you just really easily not only get the funnel we have now, but future pages we create as we're testing, we just drop them in when one's working really well. It's really fast. So yeah, and it has everything in one. It has the hosting, it has the email system, and you can have your own domain with it. Like, super, super simple. So if we referred you, Paul, just email our support team and ask them for the Kartra link, or if someone else referred you to us, go to your refer and ask them if they have a Kartra affiliate link. If they don't, then you can come to us. We want to maintain the integrity of the referral network. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and close out, guys, and just say, well, first of all, if you're new, I'm going to be sending an email out in an hour or two with a link to either setting up or learning about what Kartra is, setting up your funnel with Kartra if you want to, or if you don't want to get Kartra, you want to go on a shoestring budget, setting up your funnel with a blog, and we can help you set up a blog if you don't have one. But what I want to close out with is just about timing. Like, there's so many variables that have come together here that make this ridiculously historic. I mean, it's just an exciting, and it's, we hear expressions that have been cliche, like right place at the right time, but this really epitomizes that. And again, I just want to finish with grounding you into this. Like, not only do you have a system where you're able to directly leverage an upline who knows how to bring a lot of people in, like, that's nice, but much bigger than that, who's giving you a system with the presentations in place that's clear on commitments of what's being promised and offered, that's offering the people coming in underneath you the same system, setting it up for them, walking them through it, communicating all the ins and outs. And I know, like Michael, for example, was on saying, expressing some frustration a moment ago. We didn't talk, but I read his question, started to read his question, because he's running into a challenge with Kartra, with something, with the funnel or whatever. And then, Robyn is usually here all the time to help you guys through all of that. And we just told her after she made this last funnel training, guys, let's let her take a little break. But when she's here, which she almost always is, you have her helping your downline too with everything that they need, even if they're brand new to marketing or not tech savvy like me. So when you factor all of that in, and you're able to leverage this system that's attracting in top producers who will work directly with us, and attracting people who are not top producers who can leverage the system to attract top producers. And then you factor that in with where the company's at with entering into critical mass. And the fact they did 100 million in 2018, 170 million in 2019. I mean, when you put it all together, it's like it is definitely time to just, whatever time you have in a day, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's less than that, and you got to squeeze in a few hours a week, like do whatever you can to maximize this, and you're going to benefit just because of the timing, just because everything's kind of come together, and you're getting so much help. Also, I want to say, for those that don't know what to do, if you've got your funnel to generate leads, start with those 1 cent leads. I'm going to keep testing lots of things, but that's a great place for everyone to start, because you're going to have a lot of people coming in underneath you who might not be able to afford YouTube ads, who might not be able to have the time to kind of follow along with what we're doing with ads. Might be intimidating for them. Because if you're doing advertising, for example, that takes, at least a $200 a month budget. And I'm going to say even $300 a month to kick off. Of course, you'd make money back right away, or you shouldn't jump into it till you see us doing it effectively. We'll start a test ad. We show you the results. But nonetheless, people are scared with that. So you're going to have a lot of people come in underneath you who need like a low budget, easy way to do it. And if you've done the 1 cent leads, it's easier for them to get plugged into it. But we're going to keep testing stuff, but I suggest all of you jump into that, start the testing process with us as a community, get a feel for it with a really low cost, $30 a month for 1 cent lead, and then we'll expand from there. Next week, I'll put more energy into YouTube content. You can start posting to your YouTube video or YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, we'll go hunt down the videos we made to show you how to set one up. You could go to Google right now and search it, or to YouTube right now and search, how do I set up a YouTube channel? That's all pretty common knowledge stuff, which is why we don't focus on it too much. But we will provide you with some videos that we've made in the past, or I'll just redo them if I need to update them, on how to set up a YouTube channel, show you how to start getting content up there. And we're just going to keep systematically testing new lead sources, new ways of doing advertising, and showing you the results, testing different lead capture pages, and when one works, give it to you. It's never going to get easier than this. I really, really believe that, by not just a little, but a lot. So seize it as much as you can. Look for, if you're brand new, look for the links that I'm going to send out, or if you've kind of been out of the loop for the past couple of weeks and you're just kind of getting plugged in, I'm going to send you links to learning about Kartra, or if you want to learn about what that's all about and how to get your funnel set up with Kartra, or if you want to keep costs way down, how to do it with the blog. Even if you don't have a blog, we'll set you up. Once you have your funnel, then you move into getting pre-enrollees. And again, I think the best place to start right now with what I'm testing and seeing are those 1 cent leads. Email your refer. I'll send an email out recapitulating all this. You can just look for that email for guidance, and I'll also post in the groups. But you want to I just want to remind you, you want to email your refer for some of these links. I'll remind you of that in my update today. All right, guys, excited to work with you. Man, I am stoked. This is pretty crazy, actually. You got to understand, we are entering explosive growth ourselves. So we're going to have to interact on a lot more of these types of calls. If you've emailed me a question or something, I might not be able to get back right away. I might not even see it. We're trying to manage it as best we can. But on a group level, we'll keep this under control, where you can always come to me. Your top producers that come in are going to be able to come to me. We'll build the relationship that way. And then obviously I can work with people like top producers that your system brings in. I start working with them on the side. But if you sent me an email and didn't get back to you, please understand we need to get through this phase and get everything perfectly organized. Robyn creating, for example, that training that she just released, showing people how to get a funnel even if they don't have Kartra. These are the little steps that we're moving through to get this all perfected. We just started in December, so we're very early here. All right, look for that email, get your funnel. In fact, where's that slide? Let me just leave you on this, because it really is about chunking. With big goals, big dreams, you want to chunk stuff up. Not seeing it here. Well, here we are. Just remember, no, this isn't it. 1 second. Where is it? It's just like it. I want you guys to realize how simple it is. If you're on step 1 and you're setting up your funnel and you run into some technical glitch or whatever, like you're going to get through it. Like, and we're going to be here to support you to get through it. And yeah, Robyn's taking her first vacation in a very, very long time. But she'll be back, and then, you know, she's here. So you're going to get through that. You're going to get your funnel. And then step two, we're going to show you how to get pre-enrollees. Start with the 1 cent leads, but we'll be testing all kinds of things. You're going to get tons of pre-enrollees. That's not the challenge. I'm giving you the emails, the content, everything. And then now you've got your funnel, you got your pre-enrollees, and you got momentum going there. Then you just send out my emails that I call primer and fire starter that gets it triggering. You're just sending the same stuff I do. It works, obviously. So just realize, like, know where you're at and focus on where you're at. And I would say, like, for example, Trish is actually beyond this. Trish, you're deep into step 3, where you've triggered the signups and stuff, and you've got momentum now in 2 legs. And then you graduate into, like, doing a Zoom call. For those of you that aren't ready for that, you don't want to grow maybe that fast, you know, you'd be tying people into my calls. But someone like Trish that want to grow really fast, like she's a top producer, you know, then you'd start doing Zoom calls, which we'll help you with too. But if you're not ready for that, then you just refer them into us and let me take it from there, and, you know, let me kind of guide them. It's going to grow faster, obviously, if you're tying them into what I'm doing, and like Trish starts doing her own Zoom calls as well. Then it's like really mushrooming. So, but realize where you're at, and realize that nothing can stop you from getting through step 1, step 2, step 3. And then you've got 2 legs in momentum with a company that's going through critical mass. It is absolutely unheard of in terms of opportunity. I've been doing this for 20 years, never seen anything like it. So seize it, as they say, seize the day. And we will be here to support you throughout the entire process. Just be patient with us, because we're human. And while we have an incredible work ethic, and we're going to continue to for at least another year with this, to get you guys all launched massively, and to get your people and their people and their people launched massively. You know, there are limits to how many hours we can work in a day, but if you're patient and you respect the process, there's no way you can't get through these 3 phases with this support. All right, guys, look for that email and the post in level 1, level 2, level 3 group, and I will see you guys soon.